Hello and welcome back to Deus Ex. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I actually lost all of my voice recording for it. So I'm actually looking at my previously recorded footage right now and recording over it. But on the bright side, there will be some actual audio producing done. So this will be probably a little bit better quality than all the other ones. Alright, so let's see, I'm in Paris right now, trying to get into the catacombs. I don't have the key for that. I kind of just gave up looking for that key. Here I was thinking, like, am I gonna go find it or not? And then I just decided, nah, it's not really worth it. I'm pretty sure I found everything else here. Well, except for the key, but yeah. There might be a way to jump over that gate, though. I'm not sure. Get gun is always the best key.
At the foot of these steps is the entrance to the catacombs, originally limestone quarries dating back to Roman times.
This is somebody sending a message to the silhouette leader. He caught wind of them talking about MJ-12. He doesn't know what MJ-12 is, though. And MJ-12 is they're occupying the streets here in Paris. I remember I talked about how, when I was recording this, I talked about how I was going to make a France surrendering joke, but then I didn't. It's not because I'm too proud to make a joke like that. I'm not one to shy away from low-hanging fruit. I just didn't think of it. I was also wondering, you know, maybe that's what the developers had in mind when they made this. Maybe they were making an elaborate French surrendering joke. Now we're in the catacombs. I used to always get lost down here when I first started playing.
Reports I'm finding indicate a siege on the catacombs. MJ-12 must be trying to drive Silhouette from their hideout.
I completely missed that gas grenade. Just not paying attention. Kind of a shame. Could have used it. I didn't feel like reloading because I reload enough in this. I die way too much. So if I can avoid reloading from this point forward, I'm just gonna do that. It would be really nice if there were an autosave in this game so you wouldn't have any reason to save scum. Well, I mean, there's always reason to save scum, but you wouldn't be as tempted to save scum. Save scumming kind of makes the experience worse on the whole, I think.
Something creeps me out about Hella. I don't know.
She's from High Command. They're all like that.
I think she really gets off being down here. Have you seen the little nest she set up in the room with the pillars? The command post?
She does seem to be in her element.
Curling up in her nest like a harpy.
Man, I'll be glad to get out of here.
Me too. I don't like tunnels. Always sounds like someone's sneaking up on you.
In this case, someone actually is.
Son of a...
So I could have just killed them both with a dragon tooth sword. But that would have made a small risk of getting hit with that flamethrower. Or maybe not, I don't know. I just felt like making a silent takedown because, you know, I like to make a silent takedown. There are a lot of little secret passageways down here. It's really fun to explore.
You're entering one of the larger tombs. Almost 6 million exhumed bodies were moved to the catacombs as a health measure during the 1700s.
Oh my God! Ah! Oh!
Yeah, so I was listening for that guy's footsteps. Also could have killed him very easily. Just making sure everything's loaded. Wish I could remember exactly what I was saying here. All that dialogue lost, like tears in the rain. Yeah, I hit him in exactly the right spot. If you don't hit those guys in exactly the right spot, even with the dragon tooth, it won't kill him in the first hit.
The leader's name is Chad. Strange. The area looks different than it does on my map. Some new construction. Maybe they've concealed themselves from Majestic 12.
This is how you get to their secret hideout. They give you two buttons. There's the button with the lockpick on it and the button with the wine bottle on it. I guess I didn't want to make it too hard to open, right?
Make sure they don't follow you.
You found the bunker.
I might as well read this. Announced today that the famous Paris catacombs will be closed to the public until further notice, citing increased criminal activity and possible terrorist connection to the area. The catacombs have become a haven for any number of unseemly elements, said Inspector Gabley of the Metropolitan Police. We are taking all necessary steps to contain this threat to the peace and welfare of the Paris citizens. Catacombs are part of an extensive network of tunnels that mostly lie beneath the 5th, 6th, and 14th arrondissements, originally part of larger excavations undertaken by the Romans to remove valuable deposits of gypsum and limestone from the area. The catacombs themselves date back to 1786, when bones were removed from the grossly overcrowded cemetery of innocents to be stored in the quarries of Montrouge. Since that time, innumerable additional burials have resulted in the vast ossuary that exists today. The publicly accessible sections of the catacombs are only a small part of the complete tunnel system, whose many entrances and exits have made it a popular diversion for cataphiles wishing to explore the underground history of the city. I remember commenting on the word cataphile. I was like, there's such thing as people who are obsessed with catacombs. It's kind of strange. It's like that's your hobby. You're just specifically interested in catacombs.
How did you find us?
We can't let them discover our hideout.
I'm J.C. Denton. You might know my brother Paul. I helped him send your group a warning about the crackdown.
Denton. Yes, the satellite transmission saved us from La Prison de Fresnes, at least.
Pretty much a skeleton crew you have here. How long can your people hold off MJ-12?
We are not mercenaries. When the troopers moved into the crypts, half of my people retreated without firing a shot. 2 of them took a wrong turn and were taken prisoner.
Where?
In Bunker 3, the tunnels behind the second blast door.
Maybe I can help you out, in exchange for a small favor. I need to find Nicolette Duclair.
Nicolette? What do you want with Nicolette?
I need to contact some friends of her mother's.
Oh yes, Beth. A great woman. Nicolette is very secretive about her mother's friends. She tells us that they are wealthy and support our cause, but they have many enemies and need to be protected. I might be able to help you, but I must be certain of your loyalty.
You have a right to be cautious. Just point me to Bunker 3.
I have the key to the blast door, which is directly across from our hideout, and a map you might find useful. Get my people back and I will put you in touch with Nicolette.
Yeah, I'm just gonna steal his stuff. Because we're all lawless revolutionaries anyway. Might as well start stealing from each other. So I read this passage from Richard III. I don't know. It doesn't really add anything to the plot of the game. It's just something it's tangentially related, I guess. So I was actually reading it out loud, I guess. Shoot. This is hard to actually come up with stuff to talk about when I'm not actually in control. Okay. So that's the Chad that we've heard so much about.
We are surrounded. We don't have much
They
time.
have backed us into a corner.
I could make a joke about Chads, but yeah, that's pretty played out at this point. So there's that other button. Give you 2 buttons. Wouldn't want to make the hideout too secret, I guess.
Looks like a chance to take out a team of MJ-12 troopers, but use your head. We don't want the hostages getting caught in the crossfire.
There are a lot of MJ-12 guys here, so naturally I die a few times. I think this is the first time. Yep. Those guys are absolutely brutal. If you're in front of them for like even a millisecond while they're shooting, you are just already dead. There's 2 Gep rockets on that guy. That is a terrible waste. And now I'm low on them. So at this point I decided to switch over to the high explosive assault rifle rounds. So I've got plenty of those. It's like further on in the game you get more of those and fewer Gep rockets. It's because the game wants you to switch your weapons up a bit, I guess. Really, the design of this game is pretty ingenious. So that's the woman in black's login and password. So that's from Gabli. They're working with the gendarme. So Gabli's a collaborator. So again, it's very easy to get lost here. Lots of the corridors look pretty samey.
sign of MJ-12. Maybe it's vacant.
Get out. I was here first.
Sorry, just looking around. Aren't you afraid of the commandos?
They better not come back here. I am not moving again.
Right. You tell them that.
At least I get away with something. Want a med kit? I stole 3. Or what about those poison darts? 600 for a med kit, 200 for the darts. They move me out to make room for military supplies.
Maybe later.
This would be a pretty horrible place to live in as a bum. It's bad enough living out in the streets, but living underground, where you'll barely ever get anyone visiting you, that'd be pretty bad. Like, where does he even get his food? Is he just going to, like, steal from the commandos all the time? That'd be a pretty quick way to get killed. It's just pure desperation. So I carry around this TNT box with me, but I don't think I ever end up doing anything with it.
Jock's picking up heat signatures of what look like troops. The MJ-12 bunker must be nearby.
Of course, I already get spotted. But I wasn't in his sight.
That's him.
Well, I wasn't in his sight long enough for him to see me, but then I was. So I got impatient. So I saw this guy carrying a lamb, but then I loot, and doesn't have the lamb. So I was pretty mad about that. Although I already had 10 lambs, so I actually couldn't carry any more. I was looking through my logs here to see if it would say if I picked up the lamb, because I was still thought it was strange that it just kind of wasn't there. And here is where I discovered that I had a map, so I was pretty happy about that. I think yeah, here I was also talking about how I thought it was a really cool feature that this game lets you look through your logs and conversation logs and stuff like that. I think that's a really neat feature. I don't know why they got rid of that in modern games. Like, you never see that anymore. It's like, you know, what if you forget something, or maybe you're not paying attention and you want to go back and go through a conversation again. This is also before the days when they made interfaces to cater to consoles. So it's, even though this game is 17 years old, almost 18, it still has a interface that's more suited to the PC than most games that are out now. Yeah. PC game interfaces are a lost art. Well, I shouldn't really say that. I mean, I guess Valve games still do that, but like, when's the last time Valve made a game? And no, those puzzle games that they make don't count. Although I might be talking out of my ass. I don't even know if they make puzzle games. I think they do. Nowadays, mainly they just print money. And cancel Half-Life 3. I pretty much figured that they were going to cancel Half-Life 3 anyway. I mean, I really did not see much hope of that. And with how long they were taking, you know, something doesn't sit around in development hell that long and turn out good. It either doesn't happen, or it's Duke Nukem Forever. I'd rather it just not happen, if that's going to be the case. So that repair bot, he breaks through the gate like it's the Terminator. Kind of spooked me. But the reason it's going over there is that it repairs that machine. So that's pretty nifty. I accidentally land too hard on that barrel and break it open. Luckily I didn't land on the explosive barrel, because then I would have been dead. If there are any explosive barrels, I don't know. So you'll see me looking at my map a lot here, because just trying to get my bearings. You'll have to forgive me, my sense of direction, as always, is not very good.
MJ-12 squads have set up a base camp in this old World War II bunker. This is probably where you'll find the hostages.
Hear that?
These guys have crazy good hearing. Although maybe a Majestic 12 trooper would have heard that, I don't know. Of course they set off the alarm.
Watch yourself. This one's some kind of mech. Request backup.
So yeah, it got pretty hairy here. I'm not sure if I survived this. No, I think that turret does me in. No? Huh. Oh, that's that sneaky ass commando. Didn't even hear him coming.
I've got ACM.
Yeah, I decided that I was pretty much already dead at that point.
Definitely someone. That's it.
That made me so angry when that happened. Because for some reason the soldiers, the corpse of that soldier has a hitbox that was like extending up to the turret. So that's why I wasn't able to break the turret in time. So this is the point where I decided to be a little bit more stealthy. Just try to sneak around the commandos. Oh boy. I think it's about to go tits up here. No? Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I could see through walls yet. I don't think I have that. Not quite yet. I need another upgrade. Totally botched that. Just not checking my angles. I forget about that turret.
Someone's there. I can hear you.
Look at this guy, totally clueless. Yeah, I totally forgot about this part. This little underwater passage. If you use this right, you can get to the security computer and then activate the turrets, and then just have them mop up all of the MJ-12 people for you. Of course, I don't do that because I'm just being really sloppy. So I decided to make a silent takedown on the woman in black because men in black and women in black, they both explode when you kill them. So I wanted to see if there was anything worth pickpocketing off of her. Upon arrival in Paris, you are to interface with Inspector Gabelli of the Metropolitan Police, your operator for the duration of the mission. Aid Gabelli in any way possible to eradicate lingering elements of either Silhouette or the Illuminati. Secondary priority is the acquisition of any information concerning the whereabouts of Morgan Everett, Tracer Tong, Alex Jacobson, or J.C. Denton. Any such information is to be sent to Walton Simons directly and immediately. We have reason to believe that Denton may be traveling to Paris in an attempt to ally himself with the surviving Illuminati. A situation that should be prevented with all due prejudice. Aston Greer, Director of Security, FEMA. I have so many of those, I'll probably never run out. I don't really use my augs all that often. I mean, I use them for jumping a lot and for healing. But like, there's other stuff I could be doing. I could be creating those drones and stuff. Could be using them a lot more. And the cloak, if I were using like the cloak or the radar invisibility, that would be a huge drain. Now it's time for the silent takedown. But first I gotta take out that one.
Visual. Unidentified suspect.
I swear those guys have a larger field of view. Must be those visors they wear. I was hoping that he didn't know it was me, but these guys are a lot quicker. A lot quicker on the uptake. She just completely forgets about me. Too busy staring at the wall to actually find me. So she's carrying a law and a scope modification. I didn't really need the scope modification. The law, obviously don't have space for that. I thought it was kind of curious that she's carrying a law because, like, this is a pretty enclosed environment. As JC said, a bomb's a bad choice for close-range combat. Laws are pretty much just rocket-propelled bombs. And if you're anywhere near the explosion, then you're just immediately dead. It's way worse than a GEP gun.
Got something. I'm doing this.
I totally forgot that guy was there. I got really lucky. I think I botched this. Yep, I totally botched that. I thought that if I had my combat strength on and hit him with the dragon tooth, it would just kill him. But nope, you have to hit him in the right place. You have to hit him right in the middle of their back. Or else it's not an instant kill. These guys are crazy. I was pretty angry at him. I just I was sick of him. So now is when I start to use the security computer, after I don't even need it. Turn the turret towards them, but they don't have anything to shoot at. I've already killed everyone. Well, either killed or knocked unconscious. So those are sabot shells. They go into your shotgun if you have one. They're good for like breaking machinery, for fighting against bots and stuff like that, but still nowhere near as good as a GEP gun or high explosive rounds or just well, anything else. You're just much better off with explosives. So she can go through there without setting off the turret. Or the alarm. The turret's on my side now. But of course I set it off. I got really scared that she was going to blow up that TNT crate, because that can very easily happen. If an NPC's path is obstructed with a TNT crate, then the NPC AI will just break whatever's in front of them to get through. And of course, if you break a TNT crate, then it goes kaboom. So that would have been bad.
We are surrounded. We don't have much time.
Just drinking some wine to pass the time.
We can't let them discover our hideout.
Thank you for saving our comrades.
I freed the hostages.
Wonderful. Where are they?
Both of them made it to the hideout safely. I made sure of it.
Excellent. I cannot believe our good fortune. Now, you wanted to contact Nicolette?
Yes.
You might catch her at Club La Porte de l'Enfer. I tried to tell her it's not safe, but ever since her mother's assassination, she has been careless. She goes out every night as though daring the assassins to show their faces.
A silhouette hangout?
Among other things. But you can't get there at night, the roads are blocked.
What about the tunnels?
The catacombs do not go that far. You might try the sewers though. They can be reached through the rear blast door.
Is it locked?
Unfortunately, MJ-12 closed it before the raid. Maybe you can find a key on one of the soldiers.
I already picked up that key. Thanks again for the help.
So JC is gonna have to go through the
Now we have a
sewers.
chance.
End up smelling like poo gas again.
They're back.
Seems like it'd be kind of difficult to hide from MJ-12 when you smell like a sewer. Oh boy, here's the part. Okay, so I struggled a bit to find the way out. This always happens to me. It's like I keep just going right past where I need to go. It's just like one little turn that I miss. so at this point I forget where I am. Oh, actually, I'm going to the collapsed passage so I can get stuff. Here we go.
The old catacombs exit is at the end of this passage, but it's been closed off for years due to cave-ins.
That's when I realized I can't pick up any more lambs. So let's see how long it takes me to figure this out. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, it's just this video is really exciting. Here's another little hidden place. I'm pretty sure that's all of the hidden places down here. Yeah, I was trying to find out, just go everywhere I hadn't gone before. And I think now is when I started to just look for the sewer tunnels. No, don't go up there. Yeah, I get really lost here. It's pretty bad. I think this is the wrong way because it just goes to bunker 3 and that's a dead end. So I need to go back out of here. Oh, that Nemedium 3, what a scrub. Can't navigate without his floating markers. These old school games are too complicated for him. In my defense, though, I never really played this when I was young. I mean, I guess you could say that 17 was young. That was the time when I first played this. But that was 9 years after it came out. It's not like I grew up with this game. I haven't even beaten it that many times. I think I've only beaten it like 3 or 4 times. Before I started recording this Let's Play, it's probably at least a year or 2 since I played it last. Now, there's some games that I know like the back of my hand, like Morrowind, and let's see what else. Like a bunch of Super Nintendo games that I grew up with. Those I all know inside and out.
To the sewers. If you don't mind the sludge, you'll be able to get around the city without a metro pass.
Yeah, I finally found it. Earlier today, the police raided the catacombs, entering through L'Enfer Rochereau, Port Royal, Trocadero, and a number of other unidentified locations in an attempt to round up elements of the terrorist group Silhouette. Sources within the Metropolitan Police Department indicated that since the institution of martial law, the number of terrorist incidents has declined, but Silhouette still remains active in its so-called campaign of true lies. Far from being a harmless group of reactionaries, Silhouette presents a clear and ongoing threat to the public welfare, said Inspector Gabley, currently leading the case. Despite extensive surveillance prior to the raid, however, the police found minimal evidence of Silhouette's presence, instead capturing a number of drug dealers, prostitutes, and other suspected criminals. All in all, we consider the operation a success. God, I can't read. Insisted Gabley, we've made a strong statement that Paris, above or below, will not be a haven to radicals and thieves.
I think these tunnels connect to the sewers. You're going the right way.
I'm just checking things out before I move on. Making sure I'm not missing any secrets.
These sewers can take you anywhere in the Champs-Élysées, where you will find the club. Above, I'm showing MJ-12 troops and the Paris police. Also some bots. The police won't bother you, but stay away from the troopers.
I really realized how plentiful the lockpicks and multi-tools are in this game. I mean, like, I have zero skill with either the lockpicks or the multi-tools, and I still am usually carrying around the maximum number at any given time. You really just have to manage your resources and use explosives, and well, it also comes with having the unarmed skill, so you can do stuff like this. Yeah, because there I would have, if I didn't have unarmed skill, I would have either had to use an explosive or
Not sure what you might find in these buildings. But if
lockpick.
you break and enter, be prepared to deal with the Paris police.
So unarmed is just probably the most useful skill in the whole game.
The government has restricted access to the metro. You'll have to get around on foot.
I think I've only beaten this game once without leveling my unarmed skill. I actually found it to be a lot harder.
Clear the streets.
Yeah, I did one run where I was like, I had no unarmed, I was fully trained in rifle and pistol, and I didn't, for the leg enhancement I had,
The Paris nightlife. Have a taste of wine for me, JC.
I had the sneaking augment instead of the speed.
What would you like? Everything 10 credits.
At least one cafe stayed open during the crackdown.
We will never close, no matter what.
Is there some kind of curfew?
Not yet, but the police programmed the bots to shoot anyone who leaves his arrondissement after dark.
I'm looking for a friend, Nicolette Duclair.
A leader of Silhouette, a true patriot.
Know where I might find her?
Where the criminals and students go at night, La Porte de l'Enfer, just across the street.
Thanks. This crackdown is the work of Majestic 12.
You mean the European Union?
They are a group of conspirators who have been seizing governments all over the world.
I don't care what they call themselves. I have seen it since I was a girl, the plotting and scheming of corporations to make Europe into one big country with no separate languages, cultures, or tastes.
It's more than Europe they plan to unify. Never mind.
Globalism. I think the video is about to end. Oh, first I read this. Accusations of cover-ups within President Borges Monnery's administration have recently appeared in several tabloid publications, linking key members of his Council of Ministers to the somnolent eel scandal that resulted in President Sarah's exit from politics 5 years ago. Oh jeez, almost ran out of breath. Somnolent eel, an exclusive resort in Côte d'Azur, was the site of a clandestine meeting between the President Sarah and reputed members of the Zuganov crime family in an attempt to funnel almost 3 billion credits of tainted money through the French banks. The deal was reportedly brokered by a cabal of major banking interests, including the deceased financier Beth Duclair, though her involvement was never proved. Some sources went so far as to suggest that the entire meeting was a result of a plot hatched by the Bilderbergs, supposedly a secret society formed of wealthy and powerful industrialists after World War II. President Borges Monnery has dismissed the accusations as ludicrous, calling such stories the lowest example of irresponsible journalism before refusing further comment. Yeah, conspiracy theorists talk about the Bilderbergs a lot. Okay, so I think this is when I realized that my mic wasn't recording. And then I got pretty pissed. I think it was
If you have a request, talk to my assistant Raymond. He always seems to be looking for something to do.
Let's see if I can identify the exact
I'm
moment.
busy.
Navi. So I was wondering, it's like, do they call those little computers Navis or something? Is this Serial Experiments Lane? I think it's right about now that I realized that my mic wasn't recording.
He's our son. We can't have him murdering people
Well,
from
no, it's after I talked to these people.
Majestic 12.
He's not a child anymore.
This cult?
At least he has a position. He's safe.
Any organization with anonymous leadership.
They might control Europe for decades. Michelle will have to survive somehow.
I would rather he die with the rest of us.
Joshua!
I couldn't help overhearing about your son.
The others, yes. Majestic 12. Whoever they are. When you have the use, you have everything.
Joshua, be careful. You don't know this man.
I will not hide under a rock.
You have...
Well,
Yeah, this is when I realized it.
First and in your heart, you are a father. How dare you let politics...
I am a Frenchman.
You have abandoned your own son.
Perhaps I want to take the metro to see my mother, yes? Should I forget mother and my own freedom to travel? So that Michelle
And then I
can
started
have a
messing
small
with the
salary?
audio.
These are difficult times. I don't deny it.
He and his new
Oh,
friends
there I am.
murdered the Lord and simply because the old
My
man
microphone
ran
is
a
finally
drama.
back. Okay,
Next
so this is
time,
the end.
He will come to murder us.
So next time I'll actually record and do a mic check when I start. And so this doesn't happen again. See, this is me trying to find my latest save, and I didn't make a backup save, so that was another mistake I made. So in the future I'll be more careful, so we don't have to do this again. Till then.